All right, next up, everybody's favorite, the philosophy of ministry question. It's interesting to me when people ask this question because I think everybody has a slightly different way of answering it, and I think everybody has a slightly different thing that they're after. So I guess I'm never quite sure what people mean when they ask, so I'm just going to give you what I think it means, and we'll go from there. So I think when people are asking about philosophy of ministry, they're really trying to discern, is my style of ministry going to be people-focused, or is it going to be program-focused? And the short answer is it's going to be people-focused with me. As a shepherd, once you get to know your people, you're going to know what motivates them and what makes them want to go where they need to go. So then you can develop the programs and the systems to get them there, because programs and systems are important, but the programs and systems need to serve the sheep, not the other way around. And I think sometimes we get that backwards, albeit with very good intentions. For me, I always go back to the Shema from Deuteronomy chapter 6. Let me read that real quick. Chapter 6, verse 4. Hear, O Israel, the Lord our God, the Lord is one. You shall love the Lord your God with all your heart, with all your soul, and all your might. These words which I am commanding you today shall be on your heart. You shall teach them diligently to your sons, and shall talk of them when you sit in your house, and when you walk by the way, and when you lie down, and when you rise up. And then it goes on from there. I don't want to bog down the video by continuing to read that, because it's not the point right now. But what I understand ministry to be, through watching Jesus' example as well as through passages like this, is ministry is really about meeting people where they are and helping them grow closer to the Lord. And that's going to be accomplished in different ways, but typically that's done through building a relationship and gaining that trust. That's kind of why the illustration is shepherding and not professorship. So I'm a teacher at heart. I love teaching, but it's always going to be grounded in helping people grow in the Lord through that relationship, and ultimately then we can teach them what they need to know. So ultimately what I'm saying is that my philosophy of ministry is servant leadership. It's about becoming a shepherd, humbling myself, John 3:30, and leading people where they need to go. So there's going to be some genuine leadership in there. A shepherd doesn't follow the sheep follow the shepherd. But the shepherd cares for the sheep in such a way that he wants to follow, or that the sheep want to follow. So I think one of the best illustrations that I've ever heard of this is, let's pretend that somebody fell into a pit, and they're in this pit, they can't get out, and a couple of people are walking by, and one person, their method of helping motivate the person is to yell down at them, "Hey, you fell into a pit. What were you thinking? You should get out of that." Well, that's true. I don't think that's overly helpful. Then another person might walk by and go, "Hey, you really need a ladder. That's going to be the best way to get out of there, a rope or whatever," right? And maybe they even go the extra mile. They go get a ladder or a rope and they bring it and they put it down into the pit, and then the person can climb out. That's great. That's helpful. That's a lot better than the first guy. But I think the third option is probably the best. The third option is you go get the ladder, the rope, whatever, get down in the pit with that person and help them out. I see that as the model that Jesus uses. I see that as being consistent through Scripture from Old Testament to New. So in a nutshell, that is my philosophy of ministry. Ministry is messy. You're going to be involved with people and their lives, which means there's going to be rejoicing and there's going to be mourning. Weep with those who weep, mourn with those who mourn, rejoice with those who rejoice. In essence, that is my philosophy of ministry. If you have any questions, please let me know. I look forward to chatting with you. Thank you very much.